There's a Maroon 5 song. It's one of my favorites, actually. It's an old one from the 90s, early 2000s. And there's a line in there that says, "Why does everything have to be so hard?" And that line's going through my head right now. It's so frustrating. Like, I don't feel like I'm learning anything from this either. Like, usually if I can learn something from a difficulty or an issue, but I have no idea why it's doing that, and I don't know how to prevent it. Aloha everyone. So today's video is a bulk prep video. I got my website up and running and market season's just around the corner and I got to get moving. So I focused on my reusable makeup wipes is what they're called, but really they're anything that you use those little cotton rounds for. You can replace them with these to make a more sustainable item. So I'm all about sustainability and this is one of my items for that. So it took longer than I thought. It always does. It took longer than I thought it was going to, and so many issues along the way. One of these days I'd like to have a bulk prep video where my sewing machine doesn't retaliate and my AV stuff doesn't flip out on me. So one of these days it will happen. But anyway, enjoy the journey. And as always, thank you so much for your support. Hey there, so we're gonna get sewing our cotton wipes here. I pre-washed this towel after I cut it. So the last batch I made, I didn't wash anything before I put them together, and I just sewed them together, and then I did the pinking around the edges, and I thought it looked really cute, but then I went to go wash them. Since these are gonna be washed all the time, I needed to see how they held up, and not so well. So we're trying a different method today, and I did do one that was flipped, sewn and flipped, and I liked the way it, and then I washed it, and towels hadn't even been washed before, and it turned out perfect. So that's how we're gonna do these bad boys. And haven't watched it yet, or you don't know, I just started my own business. My website went live. I think we're coming up to maybe a week now. And maybe not even that many, maybe a few days. Anyway, I got my first sale yesterday and it was so freaking exciting. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so that's why we're doing the bulk prep, is to get stuff on my website, one, and two, market season's just around the corner as well. So gotta get ready for all of that. Okie dokie, that was my last one that I have towels for. So this is the little pile I made. If you guys happen to watch my bulk prep video that I just did for my jar grippers, this went way faster, and I don't think it had anything to do with, the process is identical, and I don't think it had to do with the fact that these are half the size either. It's just I seem to have far less issues with the sewing machine. So let's see how many I did. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 33. So I got 33 done. I think that was like maybe an hour, hour and a half maybe. So that's all the towels. I cut the towels when I cut my jar gripper backing. I cut the towel backing too because I was planning on doing it all at the same time. But that took way longer than I anticipated. So, but these are the only ones I pre-washed because I thought later about that they probably should have been washed, but they're really annoying. Washing them after they've already been cut. I'm just planning. I'm going to wash them after I sew them anyway. So because the fabric hasn't been washed yet either. So and that turned out just fine when I did the other ones. So to save myself some time right now, not waiting for over an hour for my towel backs to wash and dry, I'm just going to do the rest of these with the unwashed towels. So I have a whole nother stack of blue, this size, and then I have a stack of pink that's the same size as all of these. So if I remember correctly, when I originally cut the fabric, I had 167 fabric squares, but I didn't have quite as many towels. So I know I have at least 100 towels. And then whatever's left, either I'll go buy some more terry cloth. I'm going to try and buy it by the yard, or I'll try it with the fuzzy fabric that I have that might be flannel. I don't know. I need to determine if it's flannel or not. I'm sure it's probably fine, but I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that. Anyway, so the point of this is I'm just going to keep going with the unwashed blue. These are the squares I cut out for the blue. And then I have some fabric that could go with blue or pink. So I'm going to finish these up. And if I still have some blue towels, then I'll pick some out of the bucket for that. So, all right, let's keep on trucking. And I'm just loving this variegated blue thread. It is so cool because it's in my bobbins as well. So then like sometimes I'll have a light blue and a dark blue. And so sometimes it's so pale it looks white, and there might be a white thread in there. I'm not sure, but I think it's just like light blue and dark blue and possibly some white as well. But it's pretty cool. You won't even be able to see the stuff I'm doing now because it's underneath. But when I do the top stitching, it'll look cool. So, and I just got this from Amazon, and I think it's called Bro Thread, or like if you can pronounce like bra, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be Bro Thread, but this is, it doesn't say on here. This is actually embroidery thread, but I needed a more heavy duty thread for like my vinyl and cork and stuff like that. And so I thought this would be good. It definitely feels different than the cotton thread I've been using for like a year. So I haven't used polyester like this whole time. So hopefully this will hold up a little bit better. My bobbins, I guess it's okay. I felt like it was a little rough. I'm definitely gonna have to clean out my bobbin casing or housing after dealing with all these towels. It's probably very dusty in there. So anyway, I'm gonna get this back going and let's get sewing. I did find, I don't know if it's just luck, it only happened once, but I did find that if I backstitch first, then I don't really have to hold my thread down to prevent it from flying out. But it did fly out once when I was backstitching. But it's just super annoying to me. The design that if you don't have enough thread pulled out, or you're not holding it, or whatever the case may be, and it can just come right out of the needle, it just drives me. I just don't understand how that is a design. All right, I'm gonna stop bitching about the same stuff. Okay, let's go. Just went right off the thing there. There were a couple times I had to seam rip and redo some of it because what is this? Okay, I don't know. I really want to figure out what this is. There's like a third piece of thread like in my casing underneath my bobbin. I don't know where it's coming. It's this loop right here. Like, what is causing this? it's my regular thread, and it created this loop, and then it got caught inside my bobbin casing. I don't know how it does that, but it's super annoying, I'll tell you that. And then I just wasted all this thread. Anyway, what I was saying is that I only a couple times I had to seam rip and fix my stuff because I wasn't paying attention. One time the pin like fell out, and then I immediately forgot that I was supposed to stop sewing, and I kept going. So I think that happened twice where that was the only time. No, I think there's another time I went off the side and it wasn't going to fold out properly. But for the most part, I've been doing pretty good, and I haven't had too many thread issues. So let's keep it that way, huh? Okay, so my bobbin thread keeps doing crazy stuff and like getting all messed up in my fabric. And the only thing I can think of, I'm not doing anything different, so the only thing I can think of is that this, the bobbin housing needs cleaned desperately because I've been dealing with all these towels and stuff. So I'm gonna get in here and take it apart and see what's going on. All right, it's all back together. Let's see if I can get this to work now. It happened twice as soon as I started sewing on this one. Sorry, like both of these fabrics are fraying all over the place. All right, let's try this again. Kids are cooking now. Alright, looks like we're back in business. This stack has taken me a little bit longer. I had both my kids come up and talk to me about various things. And for some reason, they don't appreciate it when I sew at the same time that they're talking. Go figure. Just kidding. Check my mic. Looks like it's good. Alright, let's keep on trucking. Looks like I might, no, maybe not. I might run. It's really hard to tell if I'm going to run out. Which one I'm going to run out of first, the fabric or the towel. Ooh, the pin's popping out. Okay, so take that out. I'm going to stabbing myself. Hopefully I don't forget. Looks like everything's working in order, so let's get back at it. I got all of the fabric done. I have 7 blue towels left, so I'm just going to go through my my bin and pick out some that. Okay. So my camera kept running out of space, and so it stopped recording. Anyway, I picked out 7 more fabrics out of the box that I thought looked good with these. So I like to make sure that there's several of one pattern because they're meant to be, I think I mentioned this before, but they're meant to be sold and used in matching sets. So anyway, we're going to do these ones and then move on to the pink towels. And since this is going so much faster, I might actually be able to get all these done tonight. And then tomorrow, I can do the trimming and flipping and the top seam. So that will be great. So let's get back at it. And hopefully I don't run out of any more space before I can get these videos off of my phone. Really hope these all come together the way I'm hoping after all that experimentation, because it'd be really sad if none of these were sell worthy. That one's a little close. Let me see if I can even get my finger in here. Just barely. Should be fine. Bust these out really quick. Okay, so I've reverted back to the stupid technical difficulty issues. So my phone kept running out of space. I need like an actual camera is what I need. It's driving me nuts using my phone. And it ran out of space even though I had just deleted everything, and it's still saying I have all this space taken up. And anyway, it's driving me nuts. So I finished the blue towels. So they're all, the whole pile, sorry, I had to like move my camera all over the place to get it to, sorry, I'm trying to figure out, these are like my old ones, my test ones. There we go. I had to move my phone and rearrange my entire desk because, and to make sure I can see that I'm recording, I have to use my front camera. But my front camera doesn't have like the zoom out option that the other camera does. So I have to get the camera like as far away from me as possible so you can see me and see my sewing machine. And so I literally had to like rearrange my whole desk. So put these up here so you can see them. I'm not going to count them all right now, but I did get them done. I picked the fabric. I think I caught that one on video. I just didn't catch any of the sewing, and I was having a nice conversation with you about my schedule and about my son who's about to start college, and none of that got caught. So anyway, so I got all these done. It is 10:30. I just think I fought with this for like 30 minutes. Super annoying. I feel like I'm always complaining about something in these videos, and I'm not a complainer. I try not to be a complainer. I mean, this is like exciting, but just all these little things like start building up and just start to stress me out. And I need to vent. So anyway, these got done quicker than I anticipated, so that's a good thing. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. I got my bobbin loaded, I got my thread, and I got my wine. My husband bought me this really good Moscato. I don't drink alcohol at all very often, but sounded good. We both had kind of a stressful week, so. All right. So, like, once again, I don't have enough fabric squares to go with my towel squares, so I'm just going to pick the ones I want to use the most, and then we'll start there. All right, it is 10:53. It's almost 11 o'clock p.m. I'm not watching TV this time, and I have a YouTube video going back here. I'm just mostly listening to because I like having noise. And then, yeah, so hopefully I can get this done. I should count how many I have. Just so I have a frame of reference here, so. Just say 77. I don't think I used any of the pink ones, so it's weird that I would have an odd number. Anyway, so that's the magic number. See how fast we can do it? It is 10:55, so let's get cracking. If I get all these done tonight, I'll be a happy camper. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. I thought I didn't like the towel down because then it sticks in the foot, but then if I do the fabric down, then I can't see the stitches. I think I did all of them towel down and it was fine. All right, one down, 76 to go. right, so it's been an hour and I just wanted to check in with you. I got this many done and have this many left. So I would say I'm about halfway, maybe a little bit more. We had what, 77? So let's see how many we got done. I should have counted them before I went on camera. About 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. Forty done. So a little bit more than halfway. It's amazing. It's exactly 40. Okay, so 40 an hour. So that means it should take me less than an hour to get the rest of these done. If I stay on track, hopefully I can even kick it up a notch. So I haven't gotten too distracted. My sewing machine gave me a few problems. Had to re-thread and it ate my stuff and got stuck in the corners. You know, the usual stuff, but it didn't take too much extra time to adjust it or fix it. So anyway, was hoping to be done by midnight. It is 11:59. Oh, no, it just became midnight, so that's not going to happen. But I'm going to finish these before I go to bed, so hopefully I will be in bed at 1 a.m. So anyway, time to get back in it. Just finished my last one and it is 1:03, so pretty much right on schedule. So tomorrow I'm going to take, let's see if I can get all these up here so you can see them. Not really. All of these, about 160, no, what was it? It was like 77 and another, it's about 150, I guess, of these makeup wipes. I get them trimmed up and flipped and top sewed. So I should be able to get that done tomorrow. It took me, what? It took me 2 hours to do each half of these. Yeah, so like I have pretty much all day tomorrow. So I should be able to get done, get the pictures taken. Actually, I'm going to wash them and make sure that they stood up to the washing test. And then, yeah, and then I'll get the pictures taken and get them online if they are sell worthy and get them going and move on to the next thing. So I have so many projects I need to and want to work on. So anyway, I will see you back for day 2 tomorrow. All right, we are back for part 2 of this bulk sewing. I have my massive pile of cotton wipes here, and I'm just going to be clipping off all these crazy long threads and clipping my corners and flipping them right now. And then when we're done with that, we will be to the final step of top stitching it, and then I'm going to give it a wash and see how they do. So anyway, let's get going. I almost went through my stitches on that one. Alright, let's flip her out. Some of these I cut a little, or not cut, sewed a little. The hole's not very big. They're going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think I can do it. Definitely flip out a lot easier than the geographers do. My husband's moving recycling for me. That's what that rustling sound is, if you can hear it. Alright, first one done. So the size is definitely smaller, but I like it. It's still big enough. It's cute. Cute little square. Okay, so I'm gonna put you guys in fast forward or time lapse here, and let's get this cracking. All right, I am about to flip not my last one, I wish, but it's been an hour, so I just wanted to check in here, and looking at my pile, it looks pretty pathetic, I can tell you that. And I haven't stopped, I haven't allowed myself to get distracted. I'm watching YouTube videos of other sewists over here, but I usually, when I watch videos too, they'll say something and I'm like, ooh, I need that, or I want to check that out, and so I'll end up on like Amazon looking at products, and I forced myself not to do it this time. So I need to stay focused. So let's figure out how much I have. I wanted to count these before I came back to you, but I forgot. So kind of thrown everywhere over here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It always amazes me when I come out with a round number, 30. So last night I was able to sew basically 3 sides of this together in 40 of them in an hour. And today, going not really as fast as I could, slightly leisurely, but trying to keep a good tempo, I was able to do trim, clip my threads, trim all the sides, and turn 30 in an hour. So if you remember, I had approximately, there's like 1 or 2 that like I need to fix, so they didn't make it into the pile, but I think I had around 152 or something like that. So if it's taking me an hour to do 30, that is 3, 6, 9, 12, 5 hours to flip all these. So, and it is 6 p.m. here, so that might be all I'm doing today is flipping. And if that's the case, then I will get them in the wash before I go to bed, so then in the morning I can finish them up. So actually I need to sew them before I get them in the wash, so never mind, nix that. So anyway, let's keep going. Done. We have our last 2 to trim. And actually my daughter helped me a little bit. I think she helped cut the threads on like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these. I was hoping she would do more, but she called it quits. But I don't think I trimmed quite as much on the second batch, the pink batch, as I did on the blue batch. Just trying to be fast. If it was like overhanging, then I trim it off, but otherwise the bulk isn't like really that dramatic to where I felt like I needed to like trim it all up. I also like clipped a couple spots and corners a little too close, and I had to go back and sew them up. But there's a couple of these that are there's holes that got poked through or corners that aren't quite right, but I'll go through, and when I do the top stitching, that should remedy any of those problems. So, to our last ones. I also did take the time to, I'm looking at one couple right now that I didn't do a very good job at, but I did poke the corners out on these too. So part of the reason I did it is just to make sure they were sewn properly, and I didn't need to go back and do anything, but you have to be super careful with the with this towel. So this one's a little messed up. I'm gonna have to don't know, make some adjustments on this one maybe. Maybe not. I think when I fold it under I can fix it. Anyway, I hope you can hear me. I don't have my microphone on. It died, so it's charging right now, and it probably would have been fine, but I forgot to put it on. But we made pretty good time. It is 10 o'clock right now, like 2 minutes away. So I started at 5, right? Yeah. So I did all that in 5 hours. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I just slowed down a little bit. At a couple points, everybody came up to talk to me today, so. And everybody, I mean my 2 children and my husband, but I tried to keep working as much as I could while they were talking to me without being rude. So I'm really trying to get to bed at a decent time. I've been going to bed so late. And then I get up late, and then it's just this whole problem, and then I'm not getting to spend a lot of time with my husband because he comes home, I'm working, and then he goes to bed and I'm still working, so I'm trying to make some adjustments. So anyway, there's the last one. So I don't think you guys can see it, but here's the pile. So we're going to, this is fun too. I didn't put any of this in the garbage, so I'm going to grab you and show you this. Some of it ended up on my lap and some of it's on the floor, but this is mostly the trimmings from the side, but here it is. Isn't that crazy how much of that came off of this? So much. I feel like I'm in a baby shower, but this is all trash. Can't do anything with that. So anyway, that is it for tonight. I'm gonna call it quits, and we will be back for the final step tomorrow, and then the washing test to see how they perform in the washer. So anyway, see you in a minute. I got them all ironed. Some of these I might have to flip back out and fix because there's a couple rough spots, but just keeping them in one of my mixing bowls that I use for my photos for my bowl covers. All right, they're all in there now. It is, I'm gonna come down here. Okay. Now it is time to sew these bad boys, do the top seam and the X's, and then we'll throw them in the wash and see how they turn out. So let's go to the machine. All right, here we are. So I don't want to have to change out my thread and my bobbin and all that stuff, and I just have my purple in here still, so we're just gonna focus on the pink ones. I did a test one, and I did a zigzag stitch all the way around the edge, and I elongated it so it would go all the way around and capture the edges, just to kind of help with this staying secure. So I definitely need to work on, like, it's just not even. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. These like to get caught in. So the walking foot I have on here, but it's got this huge gap in the back, which helps. It's not even in the back, it's like in the middle, I guess, but the corner of anything I work on, especially anything small, gets caught in there. And so then it bunches up all the stitches and everything. So I'm gonna find I don't really think I need the walking foot for this, so I'm gonna find my zigzag foot and switch that out. So I think my the part that the feet clip on, I think that fell behind my desk. So I might have to jump down there, crawl down there rather, and get it out. All right, I got that on there. It's always such a pain in the butt. If I just am removing the foot and then like can snap it into the snapper on her thing, then it's fine. But with the walking foot, I have to unscrew everything, screw it back in, pop on the foot. That's annoying. So make sure it's nice and tight. My needle is, ow, still sharp. Okay. So let's try this again. Oh, we're just gonna do that and just start with the pink since that's, and go till my bobbin's out, which is probably, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to get a dozen of these or so out. So I gotta do this really slow because I want this to look good. I don't want to sell crap, you know? So I would rather not somebody look at my stuff and go, well, this is clearly handmade, but especially, and by an amateur. So, there it is. I just don't want that. So we're gonna just nice and slow and careful. I like to just start winding so I can see if how I'm lined up and where I need to stay lined up if it goes the right way. All right, let's go. All right, so far so good. Looks pretty decent. Just don't want to go so far out that it's not actually going into the fabric, so, which I feel like is what's happening. This is like getting caught too. It's gonna be like this for everyone, or I'm constantly stopping and trying to get it unstuck, then I may end up just giving up. It's too much work. Like so many stitches where it keeps getting stuck at the corner. Even with this foot, it's because it's getting sucked down now into the machine instead of getting pulled up into the walking foot. So it just doesn't make sense to me. And it's just getting caught inside the stupid thing. Like, oh. Sometimes I feel like, does every sewing machine do these things? Because if it is, like, there's got to be a flaw in the design of these things. Like, it shouldn't be so complicated to prevent your thread from coming out of the needle 50,000 times every time you sew. And I shouldn't be having to like prevent my fabric from getting sucked down inside of the machine just because it's at a corner. Like that just doesn't mean, like, you shouldn't need a special thing to make your machine operate the way it's supposed to operate. That's the thing that's bothering me. And maybe, I mean, I don't even know how it could possibly be user error. I'm just trying to go forward with a piece of fabric, 2 pieces of fabric sewn together. That's the purpose of a sewing machine. So it's making me crazy. And I really shouldn't have to be like hand cranking this thing to make it functional. I didn't even get this stitch to go over the edges on that one. This might just be maybe I'm just not good enough to do this. Just looks awful. Awful, awful. I don't know. I think I'm just going to switch to a straight stitch and hope it survives. I mean, a couple of these I've done with straight stitch on the outside and they seem to be okay, so. What's super frustrating is like I didn't have these problems with the corners getting sucked in the first time I sewed them when I actually attached them. Like, why is it doing it now? that much smoother, I guess. Still looks fine, just not as cute, and it's not being wrapped around the edges, so we're just gonna have to do this. This is where my skill set is right now. It's lined up right. Alright, that turned out pretty decent. Actually, it's probably one of the best X's I've made. It's like almost perfect, so. Alright, so we're just gonna stick with a straight stitch and hope that these survive the wash okay. Okay, so I just wanted to check in really quick. I don't even know how long it's been. I feel like it's been forever. It's 4:44. I don't know what time I started, honestly, but I feel like everything that could go wrong with my machine this time is going wrong. So my bobbin was doing all kinds of crazy stuff, so I took my machine apart and dusted it out again. I know I'm dealing with toweling, and that stuff just leaves so much crap behind. But I never feel like it's dirty enough in there to be causing that kind of problem. So I don't know. I'm just having so many issues. I've only gotten 11 of these stupid things done because I've had so many problems. And there's one over here. I don't know why I threw this one over here. I don't know. There's something about this one apparently I need to fix. I'm looking at it now and I'm not sure what, but anyway, I just wanted to update you. It's been one of those days where if it could go wrong, it did go wrong. This time it's not AV problems. It's me or the machine, or I've named this machine Barbara, by the way. My daughter actually kind of named her. And so me and Barbara are not getting along today. So she's being a little sassy and, yeah, I don't know. So many issues. So I feel like every time I do this, I'm like complaining about the machine, and it could be me. I have no idea, but it's just not going very smoothly. I thought this project would be faster than my last bulk sewing with the jar grippers, and it did start off good, but then today it's just having a day. So anyway, I'm gonna get back at it, keep better track of my time. I was hoping to get these in the wash before I went to bed tonight, but at the rate this is going, who knows. So, and I got another order this morning, so I got to get that put together as well, so I can get that out tomorrow. But yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, let's get back at it. Hope I don't push Barbara out the window. right, so I got all my pinks done. It was about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, somewhere between 70 and 80. So I got some help with the trimming process. My daughter helped me, and my husband's back there doing it right now. So that is a big help, but I still have this entire bowl of blue backing to do, and I believe these ones there was like 77. And it is currently 10 p.m. So that's not going to happen today. So I'm going to call it quits for these so I can get my order that I got today packed up so I can drop it in the mail tomorrow. So anyway, I'll be back with you tomorrow, or for you in just a moment, to hopefully, dear God, get these done, because I'm tired of looking at these. So, and hopefully Barbara here behaves herself tomorrow. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you in a minute. All right, we're back for, I think, day 4. So these projects always seem to take me way longer than I expect them to, but anyway, we are going to get into our bowl of blue wipes here and get those with the top stitch and the X put into them, and then hopefully we can get these in the wash and see how they come out. And yeah, I'd be done with this. Get them listed on our website. So anyway, let's get to it. All right, we are done. Yeah, it's done. So that took, once again, way longer than I anticipated, but I just finished my blues. I'm gonna put all my pinks in my bowl here. Next step is to wash these and see how they hold up. So I think they'll be fine. I've done, I think, 1 or 2 test ones that are flipped, and they survived really well, actually. So just a few little random things that needed snipped, and then of course they needed iron, but I mean, they were already getting that kind of quilted, crinkly look from the X going through them, so that's cool. So anyway, that is the next and final step, is washing them. I am going to get that done tonight. It is 9:09 p.m. I think it took me, I want to say I started around 5, so 4 hours just to finish the blues today. So and I got help with the trimming. So my son came and helped me with the trimming today. So they all tag teamed on the thread trimming yesterday and today. So I'm very grateful for that, because that saved me a whole step. So I think I had about 15 or so that I had to trim myself today. So I was just doing it immediately after I finished sewing it, just to finish it. So be able to throw it in the bowl and be done with it. So anyway, we are off to the washer. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I washed these in a little mesh like garment bag to keep them from getting stuck in underneath the little arms or whatever they're called in the washer, and then in the dryer. Sometimes two things get stuck in there and they're so small. So I have 3 bags. I'm going to separate these between 2 of them so they aren't all crammed in there together. So anyway, just put it on a quick wash in hot water, and which takes about 25 minutes, and then the dryer takes about 40 minutes on high. So anyway, let's get to it so I can be done with this, and I will be taking a break from bulk sewing. I still have jar bonnets and bowl bonnets, or bowl covers I need to bulk sew, but I need a break. So I've got a couple custom products that people have requested that I can work on, and then I actually have my fall seasonal table runner. I don't know if you guys watched my, it's a 3-part series. I was making this gnome summer, like 4th of July gnome table runner, and it was just like, it was another one of those, if it could go wrong, it went wrong. That was like mostly AV, and then there was like half square triangles that I was struggling with and all kinds of stuff. But this one's pumpkins, and it looks a little bit easier. So anyway, I have that, and then I also have my month 2 of my block of the month club. I actually have 2 and 3 already, so I need to get that cracking because I don't want to fall behind. So I think I'm gonna be working on those over the next few days, interspersed business stuff, and just do something fun. I miss doing the fun stuff. I mean, these are fine. I just, after you do 167 of them or whatever, it's not really fun anymore. So anyway, let's get to washing. Alrighty, it is the moment of truth. So I washed all of those cotton pads, and the vast majority of these the fabric hadn't been washed, and the toweling had never been washed. So I was so nervous that I was going to wash all these and they were going to come out in these horrible balls of toweling and threads like my first batch did. But I give these a quick little steam just now. I just grabbed a random handful out of my bag, and they came out. My sewing, it leaves something to be desired here, but there's not, I didn't trim any of this. There's not a loose thread on here. They're not completely distorted, shape shrunken, nothing crazy happened. They were a little folded up when I took them out, but they came out good. I mean, they're, like I said, some of any flaws you see in here is my sewing, not the actual product, but yeah. I am super happy with those. I was so scared. So anyway, that is it. I'm going to take my pictures, get them posted on my website, and be done with this and do something fun today with my sewing. So I'm actually editing this video right now, which is taking way too long. So, but other than that, next time I sew something, it's going to be for fun. So that is it. I'll catch you in the next one. Love ya.
Sugar Bee, like and subscribe.